Welcome to an introduction to informed decision-making for direct support professionals. My name is John Raphael, and I'm the Director of Educational Services with the National Alliance for Direct Support Professionals. In this video, we're going to explore what informed decision-making is and what it is not, why having choice is important for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, the direct support professional's important role in supporting people's choice and choices, how to support direct support professionals so they can assist people to make their own informed decisions, and the significance of the home and community-based services final rule and how the process of informed decision-making will fall mainly on direct support professionals and frontline supervisors. So, what exactly is informed decision-making? Informed decision-making is a process where a person has obtained information and knowledge about a situation or problem. That person understands the choices available to them and the outcomes possible, and this is sometimes with the support of another person. And when they make a final choice, it reflects their personal values, not those of the people assisting or supporting them. Finally, informed decision-making is the acceptance of the associated responsibility and the risk of a decision. This decision is that person's decision alone, and it's non-coerced. That is a definition of informed decision-making. We've all used informed decision-making, right? So why do we need a training on it? Well, because people with disabilities have historically and have systematically been denied the right to make decisions, to take risks, and to experience life in the way that those without the label of disability have. Researcher and advocate Steve Taylor said, "Disability is not a reason for depriving any person from making the same choices other people have the right to make." And for this reason, we need to think intentionally about practicing informed decision-making with the people we support as direct support professionals. Our lives are a series of decisions. Some are big, some are small. Some decisions are made day to day, such as what to eat, what our mealtime routines are like, when we go to bed, nighttime routines, how and with whom we spend leisure time, and what we wear, and how we appear to others. Some decisions are life-defining. These are decisions like where and with whom we decide to live, our friendships and our associations with other people, where we should work, what should we do for a living, sexuality, marriage, medical treatments. These all can be life-defining decisions. Keep in mind this, a choice that may seem small to you may be big to the person you're supporting. So, what are the steps in informed decision-making? Supporting someone to make an informed decision is a process that generally involves 5 steps. And we're going to break those down right now. Step 1, understanding the decision, the issue, the situation. What is at hand that has to have a decision be made? 2, we have to gather information, and we gather that information particularly if we're supporting somebody through that person's family perhaps, maybe other staff members, but we gather information to inform us about this decision, this situation, this issue. Step 3, exploring options and considering outcomes. This is where a direct support professional helps that person that they're supporting kind of look at what could possibly happen with the decision that's about to be made and help them understand what the good, the bad might be. Step 4, this is all about the person that you're supporting as a direct support professional. It's time for them to decide, for them to act on the decision and to ultimately empower them in their own self-determination, in their own agency. And lastly, every decision needs to be evaluated. And we do this often very informally, but sometimes in situations when we're supporting people in making their decisions, we might want to work with them to help them understand how that decision worked out for them. When you decided what to wear today, you first thought about the situation, right? What's the weather like? What clothes are appropriate for where I'm going? Is it important to be comfortable? If you weren't sure about something, you likely gathered information. You may have watched the news for the weather or talked to a colleague to find out what they're wearing to this event to base your decision on. You then looked at your clothing and thought about your options. Are the clothes I want to wear clean? Is it important that they match? You then thought about the potential outcomes for each option and ruled some things out for being inappropriate, perhaps. Of the remaining options, you made a selection. And guess what? You got dressed. Now that you're here, you have likely evaluated your decision, although it may happen subconsciously. Do you feel you look good? You're too hot? You're too cold? Are you comfortable? Do you wish you had done something differently? We go through all of these steps every day, often unconsciously when we make decisions. However, when a person you are supporting doesn't have a lot of experience making a decision at all, or is making a big decision with a high degree of risk or consequence, you're going to need to slow down and be more deliberate in moving through these steps. Here's an example of supporting somebody with a small decision and not using informed decision making. You gonna get that lettuce wrapped one?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it, though. Yeah, taking a lettuce with me, too.
Well, what about that double trouble Admiral style? Look at that one. That looks really...
That looks so juicy. Oh, my. It looks just delicious, though. Wow.
I
can't wait to do it.
But you've got that diet restriction thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a diabetic and I can eat no junk stuff, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think the protein, what is it called? The lettuce protein burger. That sounds really good. I mean, that sounds probably healthy. Right? I mean,
well, yeah. Well, I don't think. I think so. Well,
you probably should get
just
that.
order that.
Probably should get that.
One slice of that.
Double trouble Admiral. Whoa, no, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't.
Though. Yeah. Well, it's just no good though. It's no good for me though.
And you need to get a Diet Coke.
Of course.
A Diet Coke.
To the diet drink with too. Yeah. With the diet drink.
I know they have the really good milkshakes here, but we can't get those.
We can't get that. Yeah, we can't get no milkshakes.
Too fattening.
So it's too much for my stomach, though. Yeah. It's no good for my belly.
Yeah. Get the protein wrap, and I'll get one too.
To go? Well, yeah, we could take it to go, of course. Yeah. Well, we're willing to take it to go and go outside. Okay. I mean, just eat it together, though.
Okay.
Can I take your order?
We're gonna have one protein wrap, one Diet Coke. Anything else? You want anything else? That's it. Just extra napkins.
Extra napkins
right.
to go.
A straw. You want a straw, probably?
One straw.
Yeah, we're good. Let's talk about what we just saw. But before we do that, one thing. Obviously, I'm playing the role of the direct support professional in these vignettes. So with that, I'm going to be discussing my behavior in these scenarios. But before we start, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Joe Macbeth, the president and CEO of the National Alliance for Direct Support Professionals. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks, John. Good to be here with you.
Good to be here with you, man. What's your impressions of what we just saw?
My first impression is if I was hiring a direct support professional, I would not hire you.
Okay.
I think there is a lot going on there. That is a situation that many direct support professionals find themselves in, right?
Sure.
What I saw you do was kind of coerce or impose what you thought that gentleman should be eating without getting any feedback or input from him.
Yeah. But do you think in that role, and I'm talking for direct support professionals, in a situation like this, oftentimes they are they're charged with promoting and helping people promote their physical well-being. Do you think that was what was driving?
But I
export professional?
think in that scene you had good intentions,
Yep.
but I think you missed a whole lot of opportunity to help the gentleman understand healthy choices when it comes to food. And furthermore, John, you ordered the food for him.
Yep. Yeah.
And what most direct support professionals will tell you is, I am not your voice, I am your microphone.
Yes. And one other thing that I saw, and I saw myself doing in that role, I was talking over
Oh, yeah.
the gentleman, and there was almost a disrespect to that. But one other thing also, when it came time to order, who did the ordering?
You did.
And that is a no-no,
That's right.
right?
That's
and
right.
that is what I took away from that scene. Let's watch a different version of this, and then let's talk about it. Now here's an example of supporting somebody with a small decision using informed decision-making correctly. Look at the menu, man. Look at the menu. It looks like a great menu.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at, I can't believe that.
Oh my
Double
God, I can't
trouble
believe that either.
Admiral style.
He can eat the whole cow, man. He can eat the whole animal.
It looks like it. Look at the calories on it. It's like 2,000 calories. It
2,000
says 2,000
too much.
calories. Oh my God! It looks good though, doesn't it? I mean,
This looks really yum, man.
What are you
It's yummy,
thinking?
though.
What are you thinking today? What are you thinking you're
Well,
gonna
I
have for
think I
lunch
can
today?
get one of those.
You want to get one of those?
Yeah.
2,000 calories. It's a lot of calories. But look, they also have really good fries. Look at these fries.
Mini fries. Wow.
What do you
Well,
think?
mini fries is much not good for me though. So yeah.
Do you like fries? You like
Yeah,
fries?
sure do though. Really, yeah.
I mean, a burger and fries, it's kind of the classic, like, lunch, right?
It's like special lunch though, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But here's the thing. I'm thinking, we looked at that diet thing last night, your diet book. Remember the diet book? You've got that, what was that? I think you're allowed how many calories a day or something like that? What's it? I think it's 2,500 calories a day.
a pound. Wow. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I took a look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 20, that's a lot. I mean, with that one burger, you're going to have all those calories in one shot. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, but what about, there's another, look at that, the lettuce wrapped protein burger.
Wow.
Look at that, only 800 calories. What do you think? I mean, it doesn't look as good, honestly, but it's a lot less calories, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could say that.
I mean, you get that protein wrapped one, and then you had actually more space to get maybe the small order of
Half a plate.
fries,
Well,
right?
you could put a half a plate on it though. Well,
What do you
yeah,
think?
it's like sliced thing. Yeah. It's like one slice though.
I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. This is your lunch. I just want to help you make a choice that's
That's
going to
okay,
sit
man.
well
You're
with
doing a
you.
good job. It doesn't matter. Well, I can choose anything though.
You
I
can choose anything. You can choose anything. I'm just, I want to just make sure that, blowing all your calories at one sitting. That's my main concern.
One style. Well,
You
yeah.
know? It's up to you, though. What do you think? What do you think you want to? Because I think they're going to call for an order here any minute. We're next in line.
Well, I think yeah. With
What do you think?
I think you can take a half and half though.
You're going
Just
to.
half the plate. Well, I'm gonna half the plate that and half the plate the other ones.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You want to do this? That's a good idea. Why don't we get the double trouble Admiral style, and then split it, and that makes 1,000 calories for me, 1,000 calories for you, right?
Do that. Yeah. Well, share it. Well, you share half
If
for you
that's-
and half for me though.
If that's okay with you, because that's
I'm okay with that. Though.
All right, all right.
Yep.
Can I take your order?
What do you think? You want to order the double trouble
I
Admiral
would
style?
love the double burger, fries, and half small portion, and have a milkshake mini fries.
Yeah. Well, the milkshake. Remember, the milkshake's got more calories
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
sorry.
But
Mini fries with salad. The Caesars. So the Caesar salad
the Caesar salads. Look at that. Only 200 calories. That's not too bad.
to go. or to stay. Well,
It's up to you. You want to
yeah, to
stay?
stay well. To stay though.
You can stay, sure. That's great, man. So, Joe, is there any differences in that scenario than the first one? What did you see differently? I saw a few things differently.
Night and day difference, John.
Like what?
Well, one of the things that direct support professionals do on a daily basis is find those teaching moments, right? And in that scene, you found some moments to help that guy understand the healthy choices, the options that he could have. You went through a lot of different options, and that's part of decision making, right?
Yep. And what I noticed, it took longer because the direct support professional that I was portraying in that scene was waiting for him to make the decision, not making any decisions for him. And look what happened at the very final portion of this scenario. It was the gentleman suggesting, hey, why don't we just get a half portion of these things? He made that decision through helping him gather information, helping him consider the options and consider the outcomes of that lunch.
You kind of followed that informed decision-making process. Well, the other thing I noticed in that scene, John, you did a whole lot more listening and a whole lot less talking.
I sure
And I think that's an important piece when you're in a situation like that as a direct support professional, to listen. And then ultimately, you even said, it's your decision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You did a good job, John.
I appreciate that, Joe.
You're showing growth.
So, want to go have some burgers?
Can I get a shake?
Sure.
All right.
Let's hear from Bob Peterson, a man who uses supports and makes his own decisions.
I'm my own guardian, so I make all my own decisions, and I decided one day that I wanted to live as independently as I can. I have my own apartment, and when I need help deciding something, I have my DSP to help me and several other people. The way I do it is I think about what everybody gave me advice for, and then what I do is I gather all the information, and then I make informed decision. I'm glad to see that people are recognizing people with disabilities making their own decisions because people with disabilities don't have the choice to make their decision, and their decision made for them, then it's really not their decision. We always talk about independence and having more choice. The way you have choices, you have to make a decision to either do something or not do something. So that decision should be the individual decision, because the one thing about the DSPs is they're great people, but they are there to help you. They're not there to make your decision for you, because number one, they're not your mother, they're not your guardian. When you talk about independence, when you make your own decision, that's your independence right there. When you ask for help, that's independence too. That's not the DSP doing things for you. You're asking for them to help you do something. So that's the way it should always be. I mean, you can ask them for help. I've done that. I've done it on several occasions, but that doesn't mean that I'm not independent. My independence comes from me.
Here's another example of supporting someone with a small decision and not using informed decision making. Kevin, I mean,
Sure.
these phones are ridiculous. I mean, look at all these different phones you can get. You know, iPhone 13. There's a Samsung. Here's I don't even know what this is, Galaxy. I don't know, man. Just
Well, if you don't like them, you could go another brand that help you if you want to make a phone call.
get the cheapest one.
Well,
Get the cheapest one.
I get the cheapest one. Okay, yeah, I'll make it like to talk on it. I pick up this one instead of that one.
Well, look at this one. This one has all the fancy things on it, and I don't know. You don't need all that.
No, you don't. You don't need all that. So we won't have
Man.
to.
Look at this one. Oh, this one has a special lens for portraits. Who cares?
Sure.
Who cares, man?
Who cares? I don't care.
Get that one. Just get that one.
Okay, sure.
It's the cheapest one, and don't worry about it. Let's get out of here.
Okay, sure. No problem at all. We get out of here. Let's take this one.
Go. Joe, I watched that, and I watched myself in that role, and I cringe. Tell me what you saw. I didn't see good things.
Well, John, it absolutely was cringeworthy. Yeah, I mean, basically, you made Kevin's decision for him, right?
Sure did.
Take the cheapest one. There was no teaching.
Nope.
There was no options. There's no discovering those options. There's no dialogue going on. You just kind of bullied yourself right through it. Get the cheapest one.
And I don't know if it was because, you know, in the role, did I want to get the heck out of the, store or whatever it was, but you're spot on. And when you think about what a direct support professional does in these moments, helping somebody make a decision, a lot of what they need to do is provide information, gather information, determine what it is. What does Kevin really want out of a phone in this particular situation? I did none of that.
I'll tell you what. You said something about this one has an option to take portraits.
Portraits.
You didn't even know if he liked to take portraits or he likes to is a photographer.
Or
Maybe
what a portrait is, you know? What is a
all
portrait?
of that. And you just kind of completely dismissed it and went with the cheapest one. And once again, you imposed what you thought was right onto Kevin.
And I think not that that direct support professional portrayed there is a bad person, but that direct support professional portrayed in that particular scenario is not doing the process of helping somebody with informed decision making.
Even beginning with, I mean, you talked about getting the cheapest one. Well, what's his budget? How much money does he have? How much were these different phones, right? There's a lot of things. All of these phones have different items or whatever. You could have gone a lot deeper with Kevin in that situation.
One other thing, any of us that has been in any kind of situation where we're purchasing something like a smartphone, the options are just overwhelming. And I can imagine Kevin was probably overwhelmed, and I should have probably checked in with that.
Well, and Kevin did exactly what you wanted him to do, which was not good direct support, John.
Get the cheap phone.
Get the cheap phone.
Let's look at a different angle, and let's watch a direct support professional help Kevin in a different way. Wow, Kevin, this is cool. You're getting a phone, huh?
Yeah. Which one of the phones you like? I could at least get. Or okay, I just say this one.
What's that one? That one is the iPhone 12 or something, I guess. Whatever that one is. It's a
Yeah, I
really
don't,
cool one.
It's a cool one. Yeah, I wouldn't mind using it, and I like the pictures that they show on here.
Yeah. So you take a lot of pictures? Like a lot of photos and stuff?
Yeah, when I go out. So.
I heard that phone is really, really good for photographs, actually. And
Oh
also,
yes, it is.
do you take movies too? Like films, like little tiny films?
Sure.
TikTok or anything like that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We'll get it. It's
See, that
on
one
sale.
looks like it's good for that. What's this one? This one looks like this is bigger though, this one.
Oh well, yeah, this is what I should say around about $500.
This one's 500. Yeah, that's 500. How much is that? That one's 800.
Well, there's 800. I'd rather get this one because it's 800.
Do you have the $800? Like, you get that? Because I think they also do plans here. We can talk to a clerk, but
Sure, we talked to the person, see if we could hook it up and buy it.
what's this one? This one is really, really big.
Oh yes, this is big.
Is that too big? I mean, this thing looks almost like a small computer.
Sure it does, but we could get it if you
know?
want it. I could get it if you want. I would love it. Love to know this phone.
You like that phone?
Yeah.
That one is That one's $1,200.
Well, paying for $1,200, I'll get this one. I'll get this one. Just $1,200. Well, the one that costs a lot, I'll get it so it won't go back.
Let's just review this. So this phone takes really good pictures, and it's $800. This phone does not take really great pictures, and I think it's $500.
Right.
This phone is $1,200, and it takes really good pictures, and it's got lots of features. And you said you had enough money, and if we talk to the clerk, you can put it on a payment plan.
Right, you can. So I
know?
would take this one. You said this one costs about $1,200.
That's $1,200. Yeah.
Well, I would pay $1,200, then these should. I like this phone.
And there you go. You got it, man. Good.
Oh,
Good.
thank you.
Let's go talk to the clerk.
Sure.
All right, Kevin. This was fun.
Thank you.
Good luck with your phone.
Thank you.
What do you think? Any different?
Much better, John. It was much better. First thing I noticed,
What?
Kevin was holding the phones this time.
Exactly.
the last scenario, Kevin, you held the phones. What were you thinking? So Kevin held the phones, and it wasn't as rushed, right? It seemed like the last scenario, you were going to catch a bus or something. You couldn't get out of there fast enough. Yeah. This time you took your time. Yeah. You discussed the options. You discussed the budget, all the different options these different phones had, right? You even said, let's go talk to a clerk for more information. Yeah. You did a good job, John.
I appreciate that. But let's think about the impact of the process of helping people make decisions and helping them with getting information in front of them. And the one thing that I saw that was really interesting, and what I was doing in that situation with Kevin, I was giving him a lot of information about these phones, price, what their features were, and I was taking my time to make sure he understood that each of these phones has a different price, has a different set of features, and as we were going through that process, you could see Kevin, you could see the wheels spinning, and he's making his decision based on what he wants out of a phone.
Exactly.
And that didn't happen in that first scenario for a darn second.
No. And I'll tell you, you also learned that Kevin liked to take pictures when he goes out and videos when he goes out. Yeah. And that led to the phone that he chose, right? Yeah. That information helped him make that decision. Yeah, right?
It did. So
you did a good job.
Thanks. So in summary, I think when we looked at this scenario and we look at the process of what informed decision making actually is, this was a great illustration of it. It was helping this person understand the different kinds of phones, helping the person understand that there's payment plans for this phone, ultimately going at a pace that is comfortable for Kevin so he can make a decision and make it his decision.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Heidi Meyer has been active in the self-advocacy movement for close to 30 years. She reminds us how important it is for direct support professionals to really know the people they support before assisting with decision making.
If DSPs understand, direct support professionals understand my disabilities, I might have a chance of getting good services because they understand that I have problems with reading, writing, and math and telling time. So, and I was born with all my disability problems, so they're never going to go away. But if they know how I process, like communicate and understand certain concepts, like I do things, then A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. So there's an order to how I have to do things. First you do this, and then you have to do this, and then I can do it. But sometimes I can be spare of the moment, and they catch on and they work with me. But there are workers that think I'm weird and crazy because they don't take the time to understand my disability. And I never understood why, but I have to fight. I don't want to call it fighting, but I have to work harder for them to understand that I want to work with them. But they're not going to walk in and just know how to do this. I have to do some teaching and they have to do some teaching. So together we are a team. So if they're really good at working with people with disabilities and I'm good at working with them, then we got it made. Every situation is a little bit different for me. And sometimes I go to my friends, that help me. And sometimes I have to go to my direct support professional to help me, or the company, or I have to go to my social worker for guidance because it's out of my reach of understanding. I don't want a DSP making decisions for me, and I don't, because I can make a lot of them myself. But once in a while, I need guidance and help, and I have to realize that I have to step up to the plate and ask that questions, especially with paperwork, because I don't read and write and understand certain concepts.
Here's an example of supporting someone with a big decision and not using informed decision making. Oh, how you doing? What's going on? What you doing tonight?
I'm good, John. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of tired today, John, but I was thinking about just relaxing inside. However,
Nice. Yeah.
I have a friend coming over.
I'm a friend. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Who's your friend?
It's a guy.
Oh, well, okay. Where'd you meet him?
I mean, does that have to be anything?
Well,
Do you really have to know all of this,
Yeah,
John?
yeah. I got, you got people coming in the house.
Okay.
There's 3 other people living here. You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
he's
saying?
not a bad guy.
I don't know. How long you known the guy?
I've known him for 2 months now.
2 months.
He has come around plenty of times.
He has? I've not seen
Yes,
him. I've
not
seen him
inside, however, not inside.
Oh, was he hanging out outside the windows?
Yeah.
No, this guy ain't coming around here. He ain't coming around here, Don.
We just sit out there and talk, John.
No, it sounds shady to me. I don't like it one
He's
bit.
not a bad
But
person.
what about all these other 3 people living here? What are we gonna do about that?
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know.
Then he's not gonna attack nobody.
I don't know. I'm worried
Oh
about
my
I'm
goodness!
looking-
Why
I'm
you
looking
have
out
to
for
be
you.
like that?
I'm looking out for you. I gotta protect you. You know what I'm saying?
I can protect myself, John.
Yeah.
And the other consumers are fine.
Well,
He's not gonna attack anybody. I'm sure of it.
no. Can't have it happen.
We're just gonna be sitting there watching TV.
Talk to Joanne, the
I
supervisor.
just want to watch some TV with him. Is that okay?
Talk to Joanne, the supervisor. I can't make the decision.
This is so unfair, John.
Can't do it.
I can't believe you're doing this today. Of all day, and he's almost here. Like, he's literally on his way. So what am I gonna do now? So now I have to call in what?
I'll tell him.
Is this fair?
I'll tell him he can't come in the house. That was difficult to watch. Joe, as I watched it, even in the role, I was not doing anything remotely close to helping somebody make a decision.
No. Not at all. And actually, John, when you see something like that happen, it's about human rights. And there's some new rules coming out from the federal government that explicitly says that people have the right to have visitors in their home at any time, right? And you shut it down. And you could see that she was getting upset. It was her friend coming over to visit. Why couldn't she have a friend visit?
And in that role, the direct support professional seemed to be concerned about the nature of the visit. And it seemed as though it was going to be perhaps romantic in nature.
It was very judgy. You judged this gentleman without ever meeting him.
Yep.
And you know, you could make a case that that was a violation of her human rights.
And I think even bordering on certain levels of psychological abuse, in fact.
Absolutely right.
I mean, you'd have to see more of that scene, but ultimately, that direct support professional was not doing ethical or competent direct support.
And no decision making whatsoever. You made that decision. It was your word and no other word.
And you saw what happened too. I was directing it to the supervisor, talk to the supervisor. Direct support professionals need to be able to make decisions and help people make decisions, not necessarily with a supervisor right there. Right. Not that we're not saying don't consult with your supervisor or other professionals that you might work with on a team, but in a situation like this, it seemed as though John was not listening to Donna.
Not at all. Not at all.
I think we need to see this scene in a different light. We need to correct this, because in fact, this was not an appropriate way that a direct support professional should interact with a person that they support. Let's look at a different angle. Now, here's an example of supporting someone with a big decision, this time using informed decision making. Hey, Donna, what's up?
Hi.
What you doing? You look tired.
I know, I am, but I'm kind of excited because I'm having a company today, and I'm just hoping nobody really gets me upset with the fact that I'm trying to have someone over to visit for a little while.
Tonight here?
Yes.
At the residence?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Who is this?
A guy? The expression I'm getting right now is like, you're trying to tell me no, but I don't know. The way you're going at it, it don't look good.
No,
but okay.
no. Tell me a little bit. I mean, I just look.
He's coming over. He just want to see how I'm living. He just want to see the environment.
Cool.
And also meet a few of my roommates, you know, affiliated, including the staff, if that's possible.
Yeah. Well, of course. This is your home. It's your home.
I just want to stay. We're not gonna stay in here for too long. Just watch a little movie. Probably not watch a whole movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
But it's not gonna go too far. If he has to use the bathroom,
yeah. Well, he can
that's
use the bathroom.
different.
I mean, he better use the bathroom if he's going to need to use the bathroom.
But he can't go as far as the bedroom. I just wanted him to come over where we can just watch a little movie.
Well, that sounds totally cool and reasonable. You know, that's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, and how long have you known this person?
2 months.
2 months. Okay, that's a long time, right? That's a long time. And he's never been here before, so that'll be interesting to have him come and.
Well, he's been here, but not inside.
Oh, okay. He's what, dropped you off?
Yes,
or that kind of thing?
like when we go outside, you know, he come.
It sounds like you like the guy, right? You like the guy. And
he seems okay.
Okay. Well, I don't see a problem with having him come over and hang out and watch a movie. I mean, but it sounds. I'm hearing also that it might maybe go into a little bit more.
No.
No. Okay.
No kissy kiss.
No kissy kissy. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not my decision. That's your decision. You know, I just want to make sure.
But there wouldn't be anything inappropriate because I do have roommates, so I would like to respect everybody's.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you made a decision. You know.
Yes.
It sounds like a good decision, and I'm just here to make sure that things are safe and things are sound and that you can have a great time tonight. And I think it sounds like a great...
I appreciate it. Thank you. So I could have...
This is your home, you know.
Awesome.
You can
have
visitors of your choosing at any time. You know, that's the way it is.
Yes, thank you.
And we are here and I'm here if anything should come up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Great.
I'm happy now.
All right, good. Have a good time tonight, Donna.
Thank you.
That is a completely different scene, right, Joe? I mean, a completely different, a whole different vibe even, right?
Yeah. You were listening. You weren't judging Donna's friendships. It was ultimately Donna's choice, but I also noticed that you were asking a lot more questions. You were asking questions of Donna. And I think towards the end, it was out of her safety to making sure that she was safe, right?
Yeah.
But much better than that other one.
Yeah. What I saw and what I appreciate this direct support professional doing versus the previous scene, there was less judgment.
Yeah.
Less judgment about Donna's choice of a friend, whether it be romantic or not. Because I think that's what the direct support professionals are looking at. Is it going to go into a romantic moment? And so be it if it does. But I think that's where a lot of direct support professionals, they get perhaps a little bit protective. I don't know.
They do, but you also have to understand part of your job as a direct support professional is to help people build and maintain friendships and relationships.
It's in the code of ethics. It's in the direct support professional competencies.
Yes.
And ultimately,
It's a big part of our job.
Yeah.
And you got to that, and that was really good. A lot of people with disabilities are lonely, John. You know, the data shows that, right?
Yes,
so we should take every opportunity to help people foster good, healthy relationships, right?
Yeah.
And you did that this time.
Sure.
And you listened better this time.
Yeah.
And she just seemed a lot more relaxed.
Even her body language, you could tell.
Yeah.
She was more open to talking to me. In that first scenario, I think I was more in that control mode.
Yeah.
And in this particular scenario, I think the appropriate way that a direct support professional should engage and interact and assist somebody with informed decision making, I think in this role, I think it was spot on the way in which I supported this person's physical and emotional well-being, as well as help her with building, maintaining friendships and relationships.
Direct support work is not a straight line, right? It requires the direct support professional to pull from your ethical responsibilities, to pull from your skills, to listen. And ultimately, you even said it. It's your choice, Donna. It's her friendships. She even said that she was respecting her roommates, which was a big thing, right? And just like you said, her body language. She was so much more relaxed. The first scenario, you could see that she was getting upset with you.
She was.
And she had every right to
She had
get
every
upset.
right to be. Every right to be. In summary, I really believe that in this scene, the 5-step decision-making process was in effect. What is the situation that's going on? John and Donna kind of got information about this situation. And then John and Donna talked about possible outcomes and you know what are alternatives to having a guest over if and that even didn't come up. It was about more the 4th step of the 5-step process. Donna made her decision about having a friend over, and the evaluation of that decision is going to come later.
I think the first scenario where you went wrong in many different ways, she already made her decision. Her decision was made up. You talked her out of her decision, or not even talked her out of her decision. You said no to her decision.
Which is not appropriate, ethical, or what a direct support professional should do.
Ever.
Lisa Cooley receives supports from direct support professionals and has a lot of wisdom to share when it comes to informed decision making.
We all need varying levels of support to make important decisions related to our lives, especially decisions around healthcare or independent living or supported living or employment. My family helps me weigh the pros and cons of complex decisions. As a direct support professional, I think it's important to help your clients think through the choices that they need to make, but not influence their decision making. Because you are not the person that is living their life. You are the person that is supporting their ability to live their life. And as much as you might want to, it's important not to take a parental type of role regarding their decision making. We all have the right to make decisions and choices, even if the choices are not always the best choices, because that is a part of life for everyone, whether or not you have a disability.
Here's another example of supporting someone with a big decision and not using informed decision making correctly. Tony, what's up? How you doing?
Well, I'm thinking about moving.
Moving. Moving from Los Angeles?
Yeah,
Where? Where do you want to go?
like California. I want to go.
Like Northern California?
Yeah,
Like what? San Francisco?
yeah.
Man, I don't know. That's so much different up there. Like, you know, it's different world up there. It's not like Los Angeles, man. Why would you want to leave Los Angeles? It's wonderful here.
You know, I want to go up there and talk about self-advocacy, learn about more about people that with disability and like that, maybe help them too.
Interesting. I know what you're thinking. Berkeley, right? The Berkeley.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a big move, man. That's a big move. That's like, I mean, you gotta find a place to live. You gotta get some work. I don't know, man. It's a big deal.
Well, you know, if I get in touch with the Berkeley Center, you never know what they might have me do.
I know, Tony, but you got a nice situation here, man. Los Angeles is beautiful. The weather's great. San Francisco and Berkeley, they get all that fog. I don't recommend it, man. I don't think so.
Why not?
I just think it's a bad move for you. You know, it's also damp up there. It's damp, you know. It's gonna mess up your joints, you know.
Sometimes we get that right here too.
But it doesn't stay that way down here in Los Angeles. It's beautiful down here. The beaches. You don't got the beaches up there like we got them here, man. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea.
I think it's a beautiful idea.
All right. Well, you can think it's a beautiful idea all you want, but I don't know. I think you should stay right here in Los Angeles.
I mean, I do have a friend up there, you know, that live up there.
I know.
I mean, Mike, he lives up there. Mike Louie, he lives right up there.
You gonna live with Mike up there?
Mike doesn't teacher like with my own place, and maybe hire Mike to be my own caretaker.
All right. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, but I think it's a bad idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a good idea.
Tony, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry, dude.
Okay, whatever.
So Tony wants to move. He wants to move from Los Angeles to Berkeley to explore, his advocacy when it comes to disabilities. And in Berkeley, California, it was really the home. A large part of the disability rights movement began in Berkeley. Joe, this was not the best intervention.
No, it was perhaps the worst intervention I've ever seen, John.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was very bad.
You missed so many opportunities to support Tony in directing the course of his own life, right? So many blown opportunities there. And ultimately, who are you to tell another human being where he should or should not live?
And there I was. the whole scene was me to know you shouldn't do that. It's a bad idea.
You're coming up, it's foggy.
Damn.
You're coming up with all
Damn.
of these, which is coercion, John. You are coercing Tony to make the decision that you want him to make.
But it's interesting, even in the scene, you see Tony pushing back. And that's good. That's very good. And because that's a sign of somebody's self-advocacy. That's a sign of somebody's self-determination. It's a sign of their self-agency. And even in this role play, my goodness, the spirit of the human dignity of wanting to make your own choice comes through, right?
Furthermore, you were making decisions unilaterally by yourself.
Yep.
And direct support professionals, as we talk about all of the time, work within the context of a team.
Yeah.
You didn't even consult with your team members.
Not at all.
You just shut Tony down because you thought it was a bad idea. Yeah. And frankly, that's moving from one city to another is a big life-changing moment, and it's exciting, you know? And maybe Tony can't move. Maybe there's not supports available up in Berkeley or not. We don't know, but it's something to investigate.
Which I did nothing of in that scene. Let's see this situation differently. And I think when we look at this next clip, well, let's watch it, and we're going to see a different direct support professional, I do believe.
I hope so.
Now, let's see an example of supporting someone with a big decision using informed decision-making correctly. Tony, what's up? What you thinking? What you doing?
I'm thinking about moving out to Berkeley. Man.
No kidding. From Los Angeles up to Berkeley?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. What's going on up there? What?
I want to get involved with self-advocacy. You know, learn a little bit more about the ADA.
Oh man, absolutely. Well, that's the place to do it. Berkeley. That's the independent living movement started there, right? With Ed Roberts and I mean all the. Oh my gosh! Wow, man.
And for me, that would be good.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but I have a friend named Mike Newby that live up there.
Oh.
And you know, he might want to work for me.
Really?
And take care of me. You know, so you know, why not? Hey.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, you know, this California system of ours, there's these regional centers. So, I mean, I'd like to help you if you want me to coordinate all this. There's a lot of moving parts, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna need that help.
Yep. And a lot of people too. There's service coordinators and all of those folks. We got to get them involved. So before that, so do you like LA? I mean, have you enjoyed living here in Los Angeles? Is it something about here that you want to leave, or it's just more about going to Berkeley to?
It's going to Berkeley so I can learn more about self-advocacy.
Awesome.
Self-determination.
Sure.
Like I said, the ADA, you know.
Sure.
I really want to work more with the ADA and see can we get it more out there. Because to me right now, it's too quiet.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really talking about it.
Yeah.
And the thing that we did getting, we are losing it.
Yeah.
Little by little, because nobody is bringing them back up. So, you know, what can I do my big mouth bring it back up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the center of a lot of disability rights work. And man, to be closer to that, it sounds like you want to be closer to that. And that's your, I know that's we've talked about that for years. Your advocacy work has been great. Well, we'll miss you down here in Los Angeles, but why don't we do the next step, which is probably getting with that to transfer your all the benefit stuff that probably has to go through the service coordinator and all that. But yeah,
I wonder why can't we get that on the ball
yeah,
and do that? Maybe in next couple weeks we can call somebody
sure.
down there and
Sure.
find out who is the head of the service coordinator
Yep.
and see who we can get to be my service coordinator down there.
Yep. Yep. What we can do is, I think we have a meeting next week, so you have a person-centered planning meeting. So this is perfect time to bring it up, and so yeah, I'll be there with you, and
Okay.
let's get you to Berkeley, man.
Thank you a lot for your help, John. Really, I appreciate that.
My great pleasure.
Really, because the other guy, he was like a stick in the mud.
Wow.
Much better, John.
A world of difference. And before you even start, it's interesting, Tony's passion for disability advocacy work, his constant mention of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, my goodness gracious, that first scene, that direct support professional wasn't even listening. This direct support professional was all about what Tony is about.
Yeah, so much better all the way around. You have a man who's passionate about advocacy. We need to support that.
Yep.
We need more self-advocates like Tony. The other thing that I picked up on, in our system, in the system supporting people with disabilities, it's very difficult for people to move from one city to another.
Yeah.
It's really, there almost seems like this perception that you have a residential place, you should be happy with this place, and you're going to stay here, right? And Tony will tell you, I am not a slot, I'm not a bed, I am a person, and I want to live my own life.
Furthermore, Tony, he was already doing all kinds of self-advocacy in terms of his own supports. He was talking about his friend and potential support professional, Mike. Sounds like Tony was setting that up already, and I didn't shoot any of this down. I shot nothing down. I turned nothing off on Tony.
Right, and you also explained to Tony there's a lot of moving parts. I believe those are the words you actually used. It's complicated because of benefits and because of services and funding. And you didn't make any promises. Mm-mm. You shared with him, this is going to be a process. Yeah. We are going to include other people. I am here to support you, which is what every direct support professional should do. Yeah. You weren't acting alone. You were bringing in other team members, and you didn't say no.
No.
And a lot of direct support professionals would just say to Tony, that's just, like your first scenario, that's just never going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it should happen.
It should happen, and it should happen with celebration and joy, which that's what was coming through for me in the scene. And when we were just watching that scene, I saw, once again, body language, even the use of certain words that were celebratory, that were about, wow, this is, talk about person-centered support and being person-centered. John, in this scene, the direct support professional, was the epitome of having allegiance to Tony. And that's what person-centered supports is all about, right?
Absolutely. I hope he goes.
I hope he goes too. And I can't wait to visit Tony in Berkeley, California.
Let's hear from Max Barrows. Max Barrows, a longtime leader with Green Mountain Self-Advocates, reminds us that people receiving supports often have to make the case for their choices. As direct support professionals, we need to listen and give people a chance.
If it's a decision that needs support, I would ask the people that I trust, and I would gather information from them as to what the decision means, because that's what I want. What is it that I need to know? Go through pros and cons. If it's a decision that may have concern, opinions are welcome. And if it is opinion that is strong, then I would just kind of read it as it's not like that people are not letting me make that decision, but they are giving me talk through with like the consequences of what that decision may be. If I were to make a decision, I do want support, because I don't want to just make a decision and not have any support, and then what happens is that could backfire on me. I do need support in making decisions, especially when sometimes it can be difficult for me to make, decisions in my life. But again, it depends, what it is that I want to do. If it's a really big decision where you may know that your guardian or your colleague or friend may disagree on, sometimes you got to make your case. It's not easy to do that, but sometimes you got to make your case. And really, it's just a way of saying, give me a chance. Give me a chance.
This next story about informed decision-making comes from Ed Bartz. Ed Bartz is a longtime disability activist, a person that lives with significant physical disability. Ed does not have intellectual disabilities, but Ed Bartz's story is significant as it relates to this thing we call informed decision-making. Let's take a look.
Simple decision-making starts at an early age. For example, what color crayon to use on a simple art project. This evolves into what clothes to wear to impress others. You get the idea. The older we become, the more our decisions impact our future selves. Yes, mistakes are made along the way, but we learn from them and move on. However, try being a person with a disability and making a wrong decision. The team assisting you with your day-to-day care simply freaks out. I have had many people freak out due to the decisions I have made. One in particular comes to mind. When online chat rooms were popular 20 years ago, I met a woman from Ohio. We talked for a few months and decided to meet. There is that word again, decision. Our meeting went well, and we decided to continue our relationship. Eventually, we ended up having a commitment ceremony in Ohio, and Nancy moved to New York. I was the happiest person alive. Then reality reared its ugly head. My living situation at the time was this. I had an apartment in a building where 7 other people and I shared supports. I was, for the most part, happy with this situation. However, Nancy was not. She found something to complain about on a daily basis. This drove me crazy. I don't complain a lot, but when I do, I have good reason to. My new roommate was the total opposite. She would call her mother every day with her problems. I am more self-reliant. I know how and when to choose my battles. I tried explaining this to Nancy, but she would hear nothing of it. We had 2 different philosophies when it came to how we created the people assisting us. I, for the most part, treat everybody as an equal. I decided this is the best way to keep people coming back and wanting to help me grow as a contributing member of the communities that I choose to be a member of. Just to close the story with Nancy, we decided to go our separate ways, and she went back to Ohio. Am I sorry I made the decision to get together with her? No. I learned more about myself. I also learned how much people appreciate the person I am. After that chapter was over, my friends said I was not the Ed that they knew. I have not had another roommate since Nancy, and I don't foresee one. I did a lot of advocating for Nancy to come be a part of the program I was in. I didn't tell her how hard I worked. Not that it would have made the difference. My life now is what I want it to be. I have full choice in everything I do. While any and all of the decisions I make are mine, I don't always make them alone. I sometimes rely on those around me to help me make important decisions. For example, when I had my first apartment and was able to choose the people who helped me, I thought this was great. I am the boss. On the first night I was alone, a DSP put me to bed and left, like they were supposed to. The next morning, another person was supposed to come in at 5:30 to get me up. They arrived late and I was anxious about missing my ride to work. I thought to myself, this move was a mistake. People are not going to be reliable. I wanted to give up. I had a long conversation with the manager who was helping me get my staff, and he reminded me that what I was doing was very new. Time and patience is needed on everybody's part. Changes just don't happen overnight. I was pioneering this concept of people with severe physical disabilities living on their own. He reminded me to be patient with others just as they are patient with me. Needless to say, I did not give up, and worked with the changes that came, and still continue to come along.
There you have it, an introduction to informed decision making. We hope that after going through this training material in this film, that you begin to recognize that each person, they must direct the course of their own life. We want you to focus first on the person and understand that your role as a direct support professional, it's going to require flexibility, creativity, and commitment. We hope that you assist the people you support to understand their options when they're in the middle of making a decision and the possible consequences of these options. It's so important to honor the individual's right to assume risk in an informed manner. And please, please use the code of ethics and all the skills shared in this film to create a space for that person to have the dignity of risk when they're making a choice. We ask you to respectfully challenge others, including other support team members, maybe other direct support staff, doctors, nurses, therapists, coworkers, even family members, and help them recognize and help them support the rights of individuals to make informed decisions, even when these decisions might involve some personal risk. We want you to understand that helping the individuals you support, that their rights and their responsibilities, your role in helping them understand those rights and responsibilities is critical. Always honor the choices and preferences of the people you support. At the beginning and the end of every day, we ask you to examine your own beliefs and your own values and honor those of the people you support. Thank you so much for watching this, and we want you to go and help people make informed choices. Thank you so much.